Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is February 13th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the Dow 30, that's DIA, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump over here to these charts and see what we see. And I'll maximize, resize, and this is what we see. We still see green on the Dow. The Dow is still getting a little bit of a wick on there, and we still see green and all. So all still looking okay there. On the Dow here on this monthly chart, what we see here is green. We did push back quite a bit for the Dow, back down to a resistance 1 level, but we are still above the 9-10 moving average. When I say the 9-10 moving average, what is going on here? Let me see if, let me try it again. Boom. I don't know why that's going like that. I got something happening with my little marker. I'll try my other marker, and I'll pin. It should work. 9-10 moving average is that line right there. The resistance 1 level is this green line right here. We push back down, and the wick that I'm talking about is this wick. We're getting quite a bit of a wick here on this monthly candle, so that means we're getting quite a bit of selling pressure at this time and all. So let's go ahead and go down to our daily chart. Trying to use this different drawing tool, erase drawings. And back to the mouse. Yeah, new tool, different tool at all. On this weekly chart, what we see right now is a bearish harami in the right location. Let me see if my other tool is not going to work right. We see a bearish harami at this time. What I'm talking about is this candle pattern right here, and all this green and red candle here. That's our bearish harami. So again, this is the time to be careful, be careful, be careful. Is these two candles here, and all at the top. After this, you would be looking for a confirmation candle, a candle that will form somewhere with a candle closing down below there, and all to give you confirmation. But we've seen this before, and nothing has happened. So don't get too crazy about ready to short this. Ready to short the Dow. Put it that way. The other indexes look completely different and all, but we are getting some bearish-looking signs on the other ones too. Because what I'm saying is, you know, before here on the Dow, what we've seen, and I'll point out to you right quick, is where's that other bearish pattern I saw? Right here. Right there, this green and this red right here. Then we ended up with a big green candle. You know, we had a piercing pattern right back here. You know, bearish piercing pattern again. But we was forming a triangle. Then we ended up with this big green candle. So be careful, be careful, be careful if you want to. Look at one of the other indexes. No trade recommendation, but look at one of the other indexes you want to try. But if you're trading planning, your trading strategy, all based on how you do it, you know, again, just make sure if this thing does turn around on you and continue going higher, you have a plan for that also. That's all I can really say at this time. But let's go ahead and go down to our daily noise and wrap this on up. Erase these drawings and get back to my using a different pen. Get back over here and go down to our daily noise and wrap this on up. Zoom, 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 zoom in here. This is a crazy week. You know, we made we can see, the thing is, it's kind of, you know, that's why I look at this stuff every week. You know, we could see, you know, this whole, when this doji happened the other day. I think this is the day I put out a video. I say I'm trading in a downtrend, trying to be bullish. And I don't know if it was this day or this day here that I actually put that video out. I was kind of I saw things where it wasn't right for the bull side, and all. But again, me being bullish, I did scalp a little something. I realized I wasn't getting my normal moves. So again, you know, something is, based on my trading plans and my trading strategy and my experience, I knew something was happening. And then the next day we ended up getting this and all. And today it had me where I was still kind of nervous about actually jumping into the market. But again, I see my setups, I take my trades, and all. It turns out okay. And but again, I was looking at just I only took a smaller profit. It was much more profit in the trade. Couldn't talk too much about profit. But again, you based on your trading plan, your trading strategy, just trade accordingly. And right now, what we're seeing this doji that happened here on this Friday, and this is kind of letting me know, I need to be careful about what's going to happen come next week. Next week, I can see that we're going to be opening below pivot, look like. So again, this market could end up giving us, based on what we're seeing here, this whole little thing right here, it could continue on down here to a support 1 level and get deeper into where this market was consolidating at before. We'll be getting to test this area where it jumped out of with this candle, and we're testing that area again. So again, a lot of times this is usually a good trade back to the upside, but if you're going to trade it back to the upside, you probably should keep your stop in place. That's all. That's all I really have to say. No trade recommendation. It's just that if you want to play it to the downside, you got all this that you're going to have to work through to get this thing to the downside, and then plan it once it gets underneath there. That's usually a little late. The play was this week when we saw this doji to the downside and all, and we saw this market was struggling here. You had a doji, then you had another red day. This was your play to the downside up here. And although you had a red on red bearish engulfing, that was the play and all. And that's all I really have to share. Again, it's just learning to see this market based on what's happening day in and day out, and just learn to trade what you see. Come up with some trading plans and some trading strategies to play based on what you're seeing. And that's it. That's all I really want to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys have had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Talk to you later. Things acting really funny this week. Wow. Friday the 13th. That's what's going on. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.